Hey, shiny rock lovers, check this out. This is a beautiful looking agate I picked up from a wonderful Facebook seller. I wasn't sure what to do with it. It looks like it's going to have lots of interesting stuff on the inside. It's translucent and it has really incredible details that I can just make out. So I thought what I would start with is get a slab or two off this thing and then make a cabochon. So what I'm going to do is get it on the saw and cut a couple of slabs out, maybe on this end over here, and then turn one of those slabs into a beautiful cabochon. How does that sound? So go with me into the shop and let's get started. All right, the first thing you want to do is make sure the stone is clamped down nice and tight. Make sure the vise is locked to the rail. Make sure the feed dog is engaged. And also make sure that the little auto stop end stop is set. Once those are all done, then we can throw the switch, turn it on, and watch this thing cut. See how it'll slowly drive the stone into the blade. Now you can see it just starting to cut. Okay, the first slab is done. Now that's interesting. See those tubes in there? Let's move it over and do another cut. Second cut is done. Ooh, look at even more of that cool stuff. Let's do one more cut. Okay, now we've got 3. How do you think they turned out? Let's take a look. Check it out, it's been slabbed. What do you think? Let's take a look and see if any of these will make good cabochons. Ooh, boy, I like that. I like that a lot. It's got those tubes in there. So, we got these 3 slabs to play with here. What should we do? What should we do? I tell you what, let me go get a template and let's see which one of these would make the best design. Wow, I think these are all kind of interesting, even this little end cap here. So what if we were to take this one, which shows lots of that little tube structure, and put it on something like this, where we maximize the slab to get as much out of it as we can. Something like that. How would that look? What do you think? Let me go ahead and trace this one out. And then I was thinking for this piece, how about something like, something like an oval right around there. How do you like that? I think that'll be nice. Let me get this one drawn out as well. Okay, what do you think? This will be our 2 cabochons we'll make with this beautiful agate rock. Let me go ahead and get these cut on the trim saw, and then I'll get them put on the dop stick, and from there we go to the capping machine. Starting with the trim saw, I like to trim away as much as I can. That makes the job on the capping machine a little bit easier, with less material to grind away. Once I get them trimmed like this, the next thing I do is I take them over to the 80 grit wheel just to really fine-tune the shape that I drew out with the template. I want to make it as close as possible at this point before I put it on the dop stick. I find it makes it a little bit easier. So once I get the shape that I like, then it's time to dop each one. So if you've not dopped before, it's really very easy. The only piece of advice I'd give you is you want to make sure that the stone is also very hot. So on this little dop pot, that outer ring is very warm, so the stones get nice and hot. That way the wax will easily stick to it, and you can see how it sort of spreads out. Now I like to make sure that they're nice and perpendicular. Okay, let's get started with the real cabbing here. First, the 80 grit wheel for the basic shaping. Next up is the 220 grit wheel to clean up that shape. From there we go to the 280 soft wheel, just to keep cleaning it up. Then the 600 grit. After that, the 1200 grit. And then the 3000 grit. When we're done there, the 8000 grit on the wet belt sander. And then finally the cerium belt, which is about 50,000 grit. Now let's repeat all those steps with the other cabochon, the little oval one. So the 80 grit, the 220 grit, the 280 grit, jump to the 600 grit. After that, the 1200 grit, the 3000 grit, the 8000 grit, and finally the cerium belt, 50,000 grit. So here's how they look in the shop. You can see those shop lights just glowing on these things. I like the way the lights roll over. It helps me decide if the shape is good or not. It looks like it's pretty smooth. Well, let's take these inside and take a closer look. Our two cabochons are finished. Check it out. What do you think? Let's take a closer look at this one first. I like that. I like the tubes in there. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Has a nice dome, good polish. I didn't do anything with the backside. That's how it looks completely unpolished. What do you think? Whoop, whoop, it's hard to hold on to. It's slick. It's so shiny and smooth. So there's how it looks. Let's see the other one here. Ooh, look at that. I like that one as well. Once again, a good dome, not polished at all on the back. Huh, pretty cool. We might have to take a closer look at these under the microscope just to see what these tubes look like. So which is your favorite? If I had to pick one, I would probably go with maybe this one on the left here as my favorite. I don't know. They're both pretty cool. And to think that they came from this little agate produced that. Isn't that cool? So let's do this real quick though. Before I finish this video, let's put these under the microscope just to take a closer look at those little tubes in there, see what they look like. All right, well here are the tubes up close. Look at that. Watch as I slowly zoom in here. We get into this tiny little crevice here at this, I don't know what to call it, like this cloudy sort of, whatever type of material it is. But as we get really close, you can see that within that there are even tinier little like purplish dots. Isn't that cool? Look as we just sort of fly around this. Those tubes are awesome, aren't they? Because this surface is curved, it's going to be tricky to keep this in focus. Let's look at that little spot right there. What's that going to look like up close? Let's see. What is that? And let me focus this for you once we get it all the way in here. Here we go. We'll focus through it. And there's some stuff in there. It looks green to me. What do you think? We'll zoom that back out. What else can we see on this? First of all, the scratches. Wow. I gotta do a better job with my polishing. There's the edge there. I don't think there was much down on this end. Nope, just more of those scratches. Son of a gun. The microscope can really deflate my ego when it comes to polishing these stones. All right, what about that little sort of pink cloud right there? Let's see, can we zoom in on that right there? What's going on? Oh yeah, look at that. And I'll focus it a little bit better once we're all the way down. Here we go. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Nature is so amazing. Well, listen, thank you for watching this little video of mine. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.